Welcome back to Deep Echoes True Crime. Today, we delve into a case that ripped through a quiet Alabama community, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and profound grief: the Theodore Choc family murders. It's a story of a seemingly ordinary family, a chilling disappearance, and a suspect with a background far more complex than anyone could imagine. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button to stay updated on all our deep dives into the darkest corners of true crime. Our suspect, Hector Argueta-Guerra, is a 27-year-old man whose background raised immediate alarms. Authorities identified Hector as a known member of the Choc gang, notorious for its violent activities. This wasn't some minor affiliation. Hector had an extensive and brutal criminal history in El Salvador. This history included very serious international warrants, creating a perplexing situation. And, get this, Hector had active warrants for terrorism dating back to 2016, 2018, and 2024 in his home country. He also faced warrants for organized crime. Despite these grave international charges, Hector Argueta-Guerra was reportedly released into the United States in 2021. The question of how such a high-risk individual could enter and remain in the country, especially with such serious active warrants, remains a deeply unsettling mystery to many. Now let's talk about the Choc family. Aurelia Choc was 40 years old, a mother doing her best to raise her two children. Her daughter, Choc, was just 17, with her whole life ahead of her. And then there was little Anthony Garcia Choc, a precious 2-year-old. They lived together in Theodore, Alabama, a normal family whose lives were about to be irrevocably changed by a dark connection. Investigators later discovered that Hector Argueta-Guerra was an acquaintance of the Choc family, meaning he was known to them. He also had ties to a property located quite close to their residence on Ben Hamilton Road. The exact nature of their relationship beyond this acquaintance has not been fully detailed by law enforcement, leaving a chilling ambiguity about how deeply this dangerous individual was integrated into their lives. This proximity is particularly unsettling. The precise catalyst that ignited this horrific crime remains shrouded in mystery. Mobile County authorities confirm that no specific argument, tension, or financial dispute has been publicly identified as the direct cause. District Attorney Keith Blackwood described the preliminary autopsy results as horrific, suggesting an extreme level of violence. The lack of a clear motive only amplified the terror, making the senselessness of the act even more profound for the community. On January 30, 2026, around 3:00 p.m., Aurelia, and Anthony were last seen at their Theodore home. Everything seemed routine. But by the next day, January 31, 2026, a chilling silence had fallen over the Choc residence. The family was officially reported missing, setting off immediate alarms. Police entered their home, and that's when the true horror began to unfold, with initial findings suggesting a struggle. Inside, investigators found unsettling signs of a struggle. Furniture was askew, objects were disturbed. It was clear the family hadn't simply left. This wasn't a voluntary disappearance. It was immediately treated as suspicious. Over the next few weeks in February 2026, as the investigation intensified, Hector Argueta-Guerra quickly emerged as a person of interest. His proximity to the family and his problematic background made him a prime focus for law enforcement. Before March 2, 2026, with mounting evidence, Hector Argueta-Guerra was arrested. He faced 3 counts of first-degree kidnapping. This arrest followed a critical discovery. Victim DNA was found inside Hector's own residence, a direct link that solidified investigators' suspicions. On March 2, a Mobile County judge ruled there was sufficient evidence to present the kidnapping charges against Hector to a grand jury, moving the case further through the legal system toward potential trial. Then, on March 12, 2026, the case took a horrifying turn. During a routine follow-up at a property associated with Hector Argueta-Guerra, investigators made a grim discovery. In a lightly wooded area off Downing Road in Baldwin County, approximately 25 miles from the Choc family's home, they recovered 3 bodies. These remains were soon tragically identified as those of Aurelia Choc, Choc, and young Anthony Garcia Choc, shattering all hope for their safe return. The missing persons report on January 31, 2026, was the first official step in uncovering this tragedy. When law enforcement entered the Choc residence, the signs of struggle inside confirmed their worst fears. The family had been taken against their will. This immediately escalated the investigation from a routine missing persons case to a high-priority suspicious disappearance, with every second counting as crucial in the search for Aurelia, Nurka, and Anthony. The discovery of the bodies on March 12 was a pivotal moment. It transformed the investigation from a missing persons search into a homicide inquiry. The grim find was made during a routine follow-up at a property linked to Hector Argueta-Guerra in Baldwin County. The painstaking work of forensic teams at the scene confirmed the tragic end to the Choc family's disappearance and gave new, horrifying direction to the case. It was no longer about finding them alive. Several critical pieces of evidence led to the charges against Hector Argueta-Guerra. Firstly, those initial signs of struggle within the Choc family home on January 31. Then, Nurka Zuleta Choc's blood and DNA were specifically identified inside their residence, confirming the violence. But crucially, unidentified victim DNA was also discovered inside Hector Argueta-Guerra's own home, forming an undeniable direct link between him and the missing family, sealing his fate as the prime suspect. The bodies of Aurelia, Nurka, and Anthony Choc were found buried in a shallow grave in that wooded area off Downing Road. The discovery was already heartbreaking, but accompanying the remains were pieces of jewelry. These items bore the names of Aurelia Choc and her son, Anthony Garcia Choc, providing definitive identification. District Attorney Keith Blackwood grimly characterized the preliminary autopsy results as horrific, although the specific weapon used has not been publicly disclosed. The DNA evidence was the undeniable thread that tied everything together. Nurka's DNA in the Choc home and victim DNA in Hector Argueta-Guerra's residence painted a chilling picture. Detectives worked tirelessly, meticulously piecing together the timeline and physical evidence. This vital connection allowed them to shift the focus directly onto Hector, providing the probable cause necessary for his initial arrest on kidnapping charges and laying the groundwork for what was to come. The routine follow-up at the property associated with Hector Argueta-Guerra was the critical break. This wasn't a random search. It was a targeted investigation based on prior intelligence and the DNA findings. The recovery of the 3 bodies in that shallow grave profoundly altered the trajectory of the case, confirming the worst fears and elevating the charges. This meticulous police work, tracing every lead, ultimately brought the grim truth to light. Hector D'Emilio Argueta-Guerra was initially arrested on 3 counts of first-degree kidnapping sometime before March 2, based on the discovery of victim DNA inside his home. He was already incarcerated when the bodies of the Choc family were tragically unearthed on March 12. Following this grim discovery and the identification of Aurelia, Nurka, and Anthony, the Mobile County District Attorney's Office promptly upgraded the charges against Hector. The charges became infinitely more severe. On March 13, 2026, District Attorney Keith Blackwood announced that Hector Argueta-Guerra would now face 3 counts of capital murder. The initial kidnapping charges were dropped, as they were encompassed by the more serious capital murder counts. Hector was formally denied bond, ensuring he would remain incarcerated. 3 days later, on March 16, Hector D'Emilio Argueta-Guerra formally entered a plea of not guilty to the capital murder charges during a court appearance. As of March 16, 2026, the case against Hector Argueta-Guerra is still in its nascent legal stages. With a plea of not guilty entered, the trial has not yet commenced. Therefore, there have been no courtroom bombshells, no dramatic testimonies, and no bizarre behavior in court to report at this time. The legal process is just beginning to unfold, and the community awaits the lengthy judicial journey for justice for Aurelia, Nurka, and Anthony. The case is ongoing, and a trial has not yet taken place. As such, there is no verdict or sentence to report as of this date. However, given the charges, Hector Argueta-Guerra faces the possibility of the death penalty if convicted of capital murder in Alabama. The Choc family's loved ones await the full legal process. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll be right here waiting for you in the next one.